Ever get started on a project that just seems like it's never going to end?
Oh, yeah. Those marathon projects.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like running a marathon through quicksand.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Especially when you're trying to keep up in a market that just won't stand still.
Mm.
It's like you're aiming for a target that's always on the move.
Always shifting.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into what can make these long projects so risky.
Absolutely.
And we've got some great insights to share with you from Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casavon.
It's funny. You would think that when a project stretches out over a long period, you'd be able to slow down a little, take your time. You'd
Right.
think you'd have more breathing room, right?
Yeah,
But that's actually a dangerous assumption to make, especially when the market's moving so fast.
it really is.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're trying to build a house, but the foundation keeps shifting beneath you. So where does this shifting ground come from in these projects?
Well, you got to think about it. Technology is always changing. Customer needs and preferences are never standing still. And even entire markets can just get completely disrupted in the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
And any of these things, any one of these things, can just totally flip your carefully thought out plans right upside down.
absolutely. So let's say, for example, I'm in the middle of managing a software development project.
Yeah.
What can I do to avoid falling into this trap of, shifting ground?
So one of the biggest traps that a lot of people fall into is thinking that that initial plan you make, it's like set in stone.
Right.
Can't change it.
You just got to stick with it.
And that's where the whole issue of changing requirements comes in.
Yeah.
Just picture this. You're halfway through the project, and all of a sudden your client decides they need a totally different feature.
Oh.
And not just any feature, a big one.
Uh-oh.
Your budget's gone, your timeline's out the window, the whole project's goals, they've all shifted.
So how do you stay on top of all these changing requirements?
Yeah.
It just sounds so overwhelming.
So you can't just focus on hitting those deadlines, right?
Right.
Or just delivering a perfect product in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that there's flexibility built right in from the get-go
Yeah.
so you can adapt.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about here?
Think about things like Agile methodologies.
Okay.
That's where you work in shorter cycles, you constantly get feedback, you can adapt quickly.
Makes sense. So it's all about kind of like predicting the change before it happens and then being ready to kind of switch gears, adjust course along the way.
It's about being proactive, not reactive.
I like that.
And just understanding that, look, in these long projects, change is going to happen. It's a given.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we kind of wrap things up here, what's the one thing that our listener should really take away from all of this?
Don't get caught flat-footed. Don't be surprised. In a long-duration project, being able to adapt is everything.
Right.
The more flexible you are, the more responsive you can be to those changing requirements, the better you'll be able to deal with the challenges and actually get to that finish line with a successful project.
Some really great advice. And for those of you who want to dive even deeper into this stuff, we really recommend checking out Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casavon. Until next time, happy diving.
Happy diving!